It's your old pal Jizo here, ready to rock. I want everyone to please subscribe to this channel. I just played this whiskey show in Los Angeles and everyone came up to me, "Oh man, I listened to your channel. Oh man, I really dig your channel." Well, thank you very much. The unsung heroes of rock have spoken, but you have to subscribe. Keep this thing going. It only takes a second, so let's do it.
Are you ready to confess, young Jizo?
Yes, I am. Okay, I cheated on my girlfriend.
How many times?
Just a couple of times. 3, maybe 4. Okay, 8 times. This week.
What else?
I shoplifted some food at the Safeway on La Brea. I mean, I had to. I was starving.
Go on.
I told some girl at the Rainbow that I was really, really close to a record deal. So she would sleep with me.
And did it work?
Completely. Better than expected.
Anything else?
I borrowed some money from my parents, which obviously I have no intention of paying back. And I borrowed my mom's car and I got a couple of parking tickets. That's it.
You're a young punk, Jizo, but you've got some spunk. We admire that. You are hereby absolved of all your sins except you have to pay back the parking ticket money. Now go make some flyers for next week's show and get your broke ass back to the strip where you belong. Be gone!
Wow. Liars, cheaters, shoplifters, parking ticket evaders, medicine cabinet pilferers. Yes, we musicians are sinners, no doubt about that. We're all guilty. It's called cognitive dissonance. We pretend we're doing it for the good of the band, but really, we know in our cold, black little hearts that it's a sin. Of course it is. You gotta steal food from the supermarket or you're gonna starve. You gotta lie to the little girls to get them to want to you. You have to. It's all part of being a Sunset Strip rock and roller. But there are deeper, darker sins that can sometimes make or break a musician's career even before it begins. Sins like pride, gluttony, drug addiction, or the worst sin of them all, ego. Ego can destroy someone's career in an instant. So let's talk about the sins of the musicians and maybe see if we can steer a few potential Paul McCartneys back to the straight and narrow. Keep them fighting the good fight. Or not. F it. Let's go. Back in the day, sinning was pretty normal. Lying about the state of your career, big deal. Everybody did it. We all invented tall tales to make ourselves seem larger than life, to impress a girl at the Rainbow, to impress a record company, boasting to your fellow broke dick musicians flying around the strip. It's no big deal. Totally harmless. You could almost rationalize it, actually, at the time. I'm only telling this girl that I have a record deal so she won't feel like a complete if she thinks that she's sleeping with the next Axl Rose, then it makes it okay, right? Then she's moving up the food chain, not down, because sleeping with a real rock star was somehow more acceptable than just banging some ordinary Sunset Strip dirtbag rocker. So in a way, I was helping her maintain her dignity, you see? Besides, she'll figure out I'm full of shit soon enough, like the minute I take her back to my prison cell / cubicle back in downtown LA and try and lay her down on that dirty futon that I call a mattress. She'll put 2 and 2 together then. This is not the Chateau Marmont. This is not Axl Rose. Now that was 1988. Let's talk about 2025. Let's talk about being a sinner in 2025. Now, social media has changed the playing field for musicians. Now it seems that anyone can be a total liar nationwide. One of the biggest sins any musician can have is vanity, self-love, love that clouds your judgment, love that makes you think you're better than you are or cuter than you are. Facebook can make a 5'2" musician think that he's 6 feet tall just by listening to and reading and absorbing all those stupid comments and believing them. Ooh, you're a rock star. Wow, such a total rock star. The bar is set pretty low these days for what defines a rock star. Playing in a bar doesn't make you a rock star. Being in Def Leppard does. You see? I get a million comments on my social media telling me what a great singer I am. But I also see a bunch of negative comments telling me how much I suck. And guess what? I take neither to heart. I know where I stand talent-wise on the food chain. I don't need some girl on the internet puffing up my ego. But a lot of musicians thrive on that shit. They eat it up like sugar candy. So I'm saying, you gotta stop. It's not real. It's make-believe. It doesn't have any substance. It's like those stupid prayer emojis. People aren't really praying for you, man. It's just virtue signaling nonsense. Know thyself, Socrates said thousands of years ago, and that still holds true. Just because some girl in North Dakota tells you you're as good as Eddie Van Halen doesn't make it so. She's probably a bot anyway. Don't be lured and caressed by the sin of vanity. You're not the best or the cutest or the fastest soloist. You're just a musician, man. But because you are a musician, you can always be a better version of yourself. That's the magic of this profession. It's not like you can be a better accountant or a better plumber, but with practice, you can always be better in music. Be a better version of yourself and stop listening to what idiots or bots think about you on the internet. It's meaningless. Honor is a big one. It's true, a lot of musicians have no honor. They rip people off. They lie to women to get them to pay their bills and support them. They'll dupe investors out of thousands of dollars and give them nothing in return. It's happened throughout history. It happens today. I've known music producers infamous in the Hollywood area that pretend to help out these young bands, and they take half the band's studio budget up front and then totally ghost them. People you would know. Or musicians that took investors' money, thousands of dollars to make a record, and they never deliver it. Or they'll deliver a piece of shit demo recording with a drum machine. Here you go, dude, here's my Sgt. Pepper. Or they'll make promises, certain musicians, famous musicians, friends of theirs, will play on this record, and it doesn't happen. It's all lies. That's why you see a lot of these so-called independent record labels spring up really fast and just as quickly disappear. It's all good intentions, man. It's all well and good until someone gets burned. Honoring your word is a big one. Honor, integrity, doing what you say you're going to do, not just taking people's money, knowing you have no intentions of fulfilling your end of the bargain. I've seen it happen a million times, man. Investors come and investors go, then they get burned, and the relationship between the musician and the investor turns into a giant tax write-off. The record never comes out, and everyone blames the other guy. Yeah, it happens. It happens a lot. Delusion is sort of attached to the whole vanity thing, but it is a separate sin, especially in 2025, where there are no record sales or Billboard record charts. Talking about all this stuff in 2025 is just bullshit. Thinking that you're convincing people that it's still there is bullshit. If you think that you're gonna get a record deal, a real record deal, an old school record deal, and you're in your 40s or good God, even in your 50s, then you're just a fool. You're delusional, man. Sorry, I'm talking old school record company deals, not the Golden Robot or the Frontiers ones. Those aren't the same thing. Nobody buys records anymore. Hence, there are no old school record deals. Hence, there are no old school record royalties. That's why all the famous bands right now are cashing in their publishing for big bucks. Pretty soon, you're gonna hear rats round and round in a hamburger commercial, man, and you know what? I got no problem with it. Better a human being gets the money than fucking AI. Living in LA or even in Las Vegas, you always hear about delusional musicians. You can kind of feel sorry for them. After all, they're only hurting themselves, well, or the girl they're mooching off of. I got my first record deal right before I turned 30. Got lucky, very lucky. But 40, 50? Come on, man. Wake up and smell the coffee. It's dark and it's bitter. No blonde roast here. You're not going to get a record deal. That ship has sailed. AI is now padding Spotify playlists with fake AI bands playing fake AI music. The Velvet Sundown in particular. There are now fake AI bands sporting fake AI band photos, fake AI band bios. The Velvet Sundown. Look it up. That's the future of music, man. Pretty soon, all of us are going to be in the Playtone galaxy of stars on Skynet Records, forced to listen to AI-generated mumbo-jumbo bullshit music like dentist office music for eternity. Being a liar isn't as easy as it was pre-internet. You say your band went platinum? Well, let's see about that. Wrong. Just got back from a world tour? Really? Wrong. Liar. You were in Kiss? Really? Liar. You're just a fucking liar. See, the internet can shut you down in an instant. All you gotta do is check the facts. All you have to do is research it, man. But you know what? There's still a few naive girls out there that want to believe. They want to believe the Rockstar movie is real. They want to believe the Pretty Woman movie is real. After all, no one wants to think they're dating a loser. I get it. Being a musician can be so wonderful. I'm telling you, it's also easy to get caught up in the whole Peter Pan thing. I don't need to pay bills. I'm cool. I don't need to deal with any kind of adult stuff. I'm just gonna fly around on my magic carpet and have chicks pay for me because I play guitar. You needed some form of delusion in the 80s just to stick it out on the strip. When all your friends were telling you that the odds of getting a record deal were like winning the lottery. And you know what? They were right. But you did win the lottery. You did. A small lottery of sorts, just enough to keep you going. You needed to steal food because you were hungry, so you stole. You wanted some female companionship in your long, lonely sojourn, so you told a few tall tales to get her into bed, and guess what? It worked. All the sins of the Sunset Strip have been forgiven. It's the sins of 2025 that are harder to erase. So here we are. Try to be straight up in your dealings. If you can't fulfill a gig or a project, then don't take the money. If you can't tour, then don't waste people's time. So much of being a musician is trying to be honest with yourself, with who you are, and who you're working with. No delusions, no lies. Karma is the ultimate judge in the end. There's some people that have a long history of f***ing other people over, and all of a sudden they get in trouble with the law, or they get a stroke, or some other kind of negative change happens in their life. You know why? It's karma. It's karma come to call. The law of karma is the ultimate book of the law. You do your best and you try to fly right, and when things don't work out, everyone walks away clean and no one gets hurt. Maybe some hurt feelings, but that's all. Then the rock gods won't strike you down. I try to live my life by these principles. I won't say that I always succeed, but I'm still here and I'm ready to rock. This weekend, karma comes in this life or the next, so you better watch out. It's your old pal Jizo, rockin' and rollin'. We'll see you next time.